This week on Married to Medicine.
We're having a big baby shower, and I'm going to be responsible for it.
I hope you're happy. I want you to be happy. Good.
Because that's the narcissist that's being revealed.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Season 11, Episode 10 of the new Married to Medicine episode. Let's get right into this. Okay, so we actually started the episode where we left off last week. The couples, Simone and Cecile, had planned this kayak boat thing, exercise competition for all of the couples to participate, and they have, designated different groups. And let me tell you, that was funny to watch. So they had a whole thing to it. Like, one person goes first, and then they have to get a ball and deposit it in a little thing, and then the other person needs to. So it's essentially a race. Now I'm telling you, it was really funny because, so like in the first round, when the husbands are the ones that are going, Dr. G's in the lead. He's in the lead. He's going. He's pretty fast, and all of a sudden, his little boat flips over and he falls into the water. And man, I feel bad for that pink team, because that pink team was Dr. G, Sweet Tea, Phaedra, and Jackie. By the time Dr. G got to back to his team, and Phaedra and Jackie had to go, y'all, it was so bad. They almost damn near went towards the edge of the lake. Like, they was about to be in the Atlantic Ocean or something. They were so far off. It was funny. And seeing them struggle, and everybody was like, where the hell are they going? It definitely seemed like a fun exercise, but I will tell you this: if I was there and my boat flipped over, I'd probably die. Because I already told y'all, I don't even know how to swim, and I ain't even trying to play those games, okay? And then everybody's watching you. Oh my gosh. But the purple team is the one that ends up winning, which is no surprise, because Cecile and Simone, they made their team with the other couple that happens to have a former NFL player. So yeah, no surprise there that they won the relay contest. So at this point, the couples go back to their rooms and they have time to cool off and then get ready for later that night. They're going to have a pool party. Now, the first ones to arrive there are Simone and Heavenly, especially given that they are the organizers of the trip, I guess. So they actually have an activity planned out. You can see two chairs being together, obviously, for each couple. And each chair has a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, so you already know they're going to be playing one of these. Oh, can you guess what your partner thinks, or something like that. Now, there is one chair that's empty. I'm sorry, not empty. It's by itself. It's just one individual chair, obviously meant for Phaedra. Now, that's when Heavenly goes ahead and tells Simone that she actually invited Apollo Nida to the trip. I guess she saw him at her husband's office. I don't know. That whole thing was weird. But she's telling Simone how Apollo was invited, and what they really want to do is that they want, this is their way to cover up the messiness. Oh, because they've been divorced and they co-parent pretty well. Maybe we can get some tips and, it can help people out. Now, Heavenly, who the hell is that going to help out? First of all, none of y'all are divorced. The only ones that are divorced are G and Quad, but even then, they don't have any children together. So this was just messiness, and you can already tell Simone didn't know this, and she was pretty taken aback by this. Now, here's the thing, though. As this is happening, let's go over to Phaedra's room, because as she is getting ready to look fabulous as always, her date comes. Okay, remember the date that she found at Sweet Tea's speed dating event and that she went on a date with last episode? Well, he's here, and she's really happy that he's here. Now listen, could it be possible that she just brought him and that she's just using him so she can have a companion at the couples trip? Yeah, that that's totally possible. And I don't blame her because I wouldn't want to be by myself either. So anyway, all of the couples begin to arrive. Now, the ones that were a little shocked by this were Contessa and her husband, Scott. They honestly thought this was going to be a pool party. And when they see the dry erase boards and all that stuff, they're like, oh, this is a setup. So Heavenly's going to be the one like, guiding the game, which I was just like, oh Lord, you already know how that can go. But everybody's waiting for Phaedra, right? So they're like, oh, where's Phaedra? Let me tell you guys, the entrance that she made with that man holding her hand, that's how you do it, because nobody, not even Heavenly, nobody knew this was coming. And I like that, because this is the thing, y'all. I'm pretty positive that this was meant to be a setup. I think they want to bring Apollo and Phaedra and make her uncomfortable, but she said nope. She gonna bring her date, and that's what she did. So they started asking some questions that are not too bad, like how many dates did you guys have before y'all sealed the deal? Now Phaedra lets them know, him and I, like, we're not doing all of that yet. But yeah, some of them go, Jackie and Curtis, they waited till marriage, so they put like 1,000. Here's the thing though, Quad and King, her boyfriend, the camera caught them literally cheating. They thought, I guess they must have forgot the cameras were there, but the camera is caught when King says to her, I'm going to put down 30. You want to put down 32? Okay. Scott and Contessa said about 10 because they used to see each other every other year. I was like, oh, not every other year. Simone Cecile said about 3 or 4. Dr. G and Sweet Tea said about 30 or something because they were long distance. Then the next one is, how would you describe your partner's parenting style? Like, are they a soft parent? Are they a hard parent? Or are they just right? So they're going around talking about that. Now, King and Quad, they ended up writing something because King himself has a daughter. I think they said she was about 9 years old. And that's where Quad, this was the beginning of it. This is where she starts talking about, oh, he's such a great dad, which, okay, that's amazing. But then she starts talking about, and seeing him being a dad, I just can't wait to bust it out open so I can have my own. And then here come the shade. Oh, well, King showed me enough about myself where I actually want to have a child with him. So this was very clearly being directed towards her ex-husband who was sitting behind her. And Dr. G was just sitting there, hearing it, saying nothing. Then this is the question that just got crazy. So how many times y'all have sex? And I'm not gonna go over everybody, but I'm gonna go over what kind of started it off. So Quad and King said that they have sex more than 15 times in a week. Now, do I think they're lying? No, I don't. They just met each other. Well, not just, but you know what I mean. Like, they just started being a couple. He's been spending a lot of time in her house. So I don't think that's super unreasonable. Maybe that's true. So then Dr. G and Sweet Tea go, and they say they do it about twice a week. But after Sweet Tea's fibroid treatment, they're going to try to do it as much as they can so they can have a baby. That is then when Quad turns her back to them and starts acting like a crazy person and starts saying to them, y'all gotta have more sex. Y'all gotta have more sex because we need a baby Lunceford. Well, a baby Lunceford. And you know what? I'm gonna plan the baby shower. That's right. It's gonna be a grand baby shower because I'm gonna plan baby Lunceford's baby shower. That was just so weird, you guys. Like, so weird. But anywho, they continue with the questions, and the other questions didn't seem too crazy. Like, what's your partner's, like, what's your pet peeve about them? And King put some down about Quad going to sleep so much. Nothing bad. But then that's when Quad starts with her soliloquies, talking about, I've been prepared for him. But then Toya, she just couldn't leave well enough alone, could she? All of a sudden, you guys, if this wasn't awkward enough, listen, I don't care how over your ex you are, having to sit there and hearing your ex talk about how much sex they got going on with somebody, it's going to be uncomfortable. Now, uncomfortable is one thing. talk, like, making it worse is another. But then what Toya did was even more than that. Toya then says, wait a minute, this is very awkward. She says to Quad, Dr. G is right behind you. I was like, Toya, don't you think we all know that? Quad then started talking about, that is his wife, which, yeah, that's his wife. And Sweet Tea was like, no, it's not uncomfortable, like, we're cool, whatever. But then Quad says, I chose to end that marriage, and that's done. I am glad that they were together because they were a perfect fit. And, Sweet Tea just couldn't help herself, and she says, and he wanted it to end too. And so that's when Quad was like, that's what you think. And then Heavenly all the way over there saying, no, he didn't want it to end. I'm so glad that her husband, for once in his life, checked his wife and said, stop, don't say nothing. And I actually thought Dr. G's response was actually pretty respectable. He said, of course I didn't want my marriage to end. I mean, anyone that respects the institution of marriage is going to fight for the marriage, but that doesn't mean that set marriage is a healthy one. And that's, I thought that was a really stand-up answer. But then here Quad keep on pressing, talking about, I support it. I support their marriage. And that's when Dr. G, I guess it just had damn near enough. And he says, well, we don't care what you think. And that is precisely what Quad wanted. So, it took notes. It didn't take even a second for her to say, well, we don't care what you think. This is the narcissist coming out. This is the narcissist. Sweet Tea says, Quad. And Quad talking about, I'm what you want to be. Quad, who want to be you? Who? But unfortunately, as Sweet Tea is trying to have this conversation with Quad, there's somebody next to her screaming, babe, be good. Her husband. He said, don't talk to her. And that was just the perfect time to end the night. Because, I mean, it wasn't going to get no better than that. So that's like, okay, everybody, like, let's go home. Quad is still screaming and yallering and ranting and raving about, I am not Mrs. Lunceford. And I was like, do you want to be? Because why do you keep talking about it? She said, I'm going to trade that mother effer in to be Mrs. King. Okay, here's the thing, Quad. Well, aren't you already Mrs. King, so why are you so pressed? So we see Dr. G and Sweet Tea going back to their room, and Sweet Tea's pretty much saying, like, why didn't you let me talk? And Dr. G's talking about, I didn't want you to go into it with her. I don't want you to talk to her. Like, I don't want you to get into fights. And okay, you guys, here's the thing. Well, let me say my comments. Let me just finish this episode. They go to the hotel room. He just needs to cool off, so he storms out of the room, and nobody can find him. He probably was just taking a walk around the hotel. But yeah, so Sweet Tea was like just in shock that her husband is mad that he left. Then the very last thing we see is Heavenly, Damon, Curtis, and Jackie talking about how awkward it must have been for them to be in that space. And Damon says that honestly, if he were Greg, he'd probably take a plane and get the hell out the next day. And that was the end of the episode. Now let me say this. I commend Dr. G's composure during the game. Well, most of it. I think where he lost it, that was when you started screaming at your wife, bro. Like, I always have said this, and this is an advice that I give to any couple. If y'all gonna scream at each other, please wait till y'all get to your house and there's nobody listening to you. Never, I don't care how mad you are, don't you ever talk to your partner any type of way in front of other people, because it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And I understand that nobody wants his wife to be fighting with his ex-wife. That's understandable, but at the same time, it's just not a good reaction, because now it looks like you've lost it. Because again, he was keeping control, because let's be very clear about something. Quad was taunting that man. She absolutely was, with her shady answers, with her slick answers, turning her head over her shoulder. She was a drunk mess. She needs to stop drinking, because it's not a good look on her either. And it's very clear that she's not over this marriage, which I don't mind. I mean, it's understandable. She was married to him, and that's understandable. My issue when it comes to Quad is her, and you guys, I didn't really realize this, but if I went on social media, Quad has some very, like, let me be nice, some very, how would I put it, passionate fans. Unfortunately, their passion seems like gets in the way of the critical thinking because they be defending the indefensible. The reality is, Quad is not over her marriage ending, and whether she can scream it to the wind that she's okay and she's happy for him, she is not. She is not happy with the fact that Dr. G is happily married with Sweet Tea. Now, am I saying that she wants him back? Am I saying that she wants to get back with him? No, that is not what I'm saying at all. Jealousy and envy are two very different things. There is no way in earth that you're going to be next to a man that you're with now, who you claim to be so happy because you're having sex 15 times a day or a week. There's no way you're going to be acting like that in your ex's presence. It's no way. And I actually kind of feel bad for King too, because if I was sitting there with a girlfriend and I saw her act like a crazy person over her ex, I'd be a little worried that she's not over him, because this entire season Quad keep bringing him up to King. So you guys, those were my thoughts. I thought Quad did she looked a mess, and she is giving bitter. And Dr. G, my note on you was, again, you lost your control towards the end, and that was not okay, sir. Don't put your wife in that predicament. Don't do it. But you guys, let me know what your thoughts were. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.